Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News here on News First, where the people come first. You're joining me, Naveksha Gunasekara. Let's start off by taking a look at your headlines.
Troops deployed to ensure public security. US concerned over the military deployment in Sri Lanka. Party leaders meeting to be held via Zoom today. Sajith will only accept Prime Minister post if President resigns. Fuel distribution suspended due to curfew. GCE ordinary level examination to go ahead as planned.
In your top story this afternoon, Sri Lanka Army says troops have been deployed in Colombo and suburbs to ensure the security of the people. Army spokesperson Brigadier Nilantha Premaratna said the Combat Rider Squadron of the Sri Lanka Army Special Forces will be patrolling the streets covering all Army roadblocks that are set up at the moment. Moreover, armoured vehicles of the Army are conducting mobile patrols in Aturagiriya, Godagama and Homagama areas. The Chief of Defence Staff and Army Commander General Shavendra Silva has urged the people to act in a peaceful manner. He noted strict action will be taken against anyone inciting violence in the country.
Curfew has been imposed across the country. We request the citizens to kindly stay at home. You are not permitted to travel within this period unless you are attached to essential services. Minor groups of people are involved in vandalism. We tried to resolve these conflicts peacefully during the past 2 days. Do not go into violence. We need to control this situation. It is the duty and responsibility of the Tri-Forces and the police to provide a peaceful country to the citizens. We will have to take action against those who are violent. I urge the public to act in a peaceful manner and avoid damaging public and private property. Do not tend towards violence. The forces will have to take action against violence.
Meanwhile, troops were deployed in Colombo and many other areas in the country today.
The United States of America has expressed concern over the deployment of the military in Sri Lanka. U.S. State Department spokesperson Ned Price said the U.S. is deeply concerned by reports of escalating violence in Sri Lanka over the past few days.
Well, we're concerned by the deployment of the military. We stress that peaceful protesters should never be subject to violence or intimidation, whether that's on the part of a military force or a civilian unit. More broadly, we're deeply concerned by reports of escalating violence in Sri Lanka over the past few days. We condemn, as I said before, violence against peaceful protesters. We call for a full investigation, arrest and prosecution of anyone instigating and involved in acts of violence. We are, as I said before, also closely monitoring the deployment of troops, something that is of concern to us. And we're also closely following political developments in the situation on the ground in Sri Lanka after the resignation of the Prime Minister. We urge the government and political leaders to work quickly to ensure public safety and work together to identify and implement solutions to achieve long-term economic and political stability in Sri Lanka. The government must address the Sri Lankan people's discontent over the economic crisis, including power, food, and medicine shortages, as well as their concerns about the political future of their country.
The High Commissioner of India in Colombo says it denies reports on India sending troops to Sri Lanka. Issuing a statement, the Indian High Commission in Sri Lanka said The High Commission would like to categorically deny speculative reports in sections of media and social media about India sending her troops to Sri Lanka. The Indian High Commission says these reports and such views are also not in keeping with the position of the government of India. The statement further notes that the spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs of India clearly stated yesterday that India is fully supportive of Sri Lanka's democracy, stability and economic recovery. In more headline-making news, Ceylon Petroleum Corporation said the distribution of fuel was temporarily suspended considering the current security situation and the curfew in the country. The curfew will be lifted at 7 a.m. tomorrow. In more local news, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says promoting coexistence is vital at this point of time. The head of state tweeted, quote, "This is the time for all Sri Lankans to join hands as one to overcome the economic, social and political challenges," unquote. The president urged all Sri Lankans to reject the subversive attempts to push us towards racial and religious disharmony. The president's tweet reads, quote, "Promoting moderation, toleration and coexistence is vital," unquote. The Samagi Janabalavegya says opposition leader Sajith Premadasa is ready to take over as the Prime Minister if the President resigns. Chief Opposition Whip Lakshman Kiriyala made this announcement during a media briefing today.
විපක්ෂය විශ්වාසබද්ධ යෝජනා දෙකක් ඉදිරිපත් කෙරුවා. එකක් අගමැතිතුමාට සහ ආණ්ඩුවට විරුද්ධව.
The opposition brought forward two no-confidence motions. The first one was against the Prime Minister and the government, and the second one was against the President. Now that the Prime Minister has resigned, the no-confidence motion submitted against the Prime Minister and the government is not required. It was during that 24-hour time period the lives of the SLPP MPs were destroyed and people caused damages to their properties. This question is raised by the members of the ruling faction too. So we are informing the President, without being a trouble to us, please step down for us to embark on a new journey.
දේශීය වශයෙන් පිළිගැනීමකුත් නැහැ, ජාත්‍යන්තර වශයෙන් පිළිගැනීමකුත් නැහැ. දැන් ඒක පැහැදිලි කරන්න අවශ්‍යතාවයක් නැහැ. ඒක කවුරුත් දන්නවනේ.
Leader of the National People's Power, Anurakumara Dissanayake, highlighted 3 steps that should be taken immediately. Addressing a press briefing this morning, the NPP leader said, first, the President must step down as any of the solutions implemented to address the present crisis will not create any stability in the country while he is in power. Second, an interim government should be established for the period of 6 months. Third, once the interim government is established, the National People's Power is ready to take over. However, Anurakumara Dissanayake emphasized that the National People's Power will need the support of the rest of the political parties, adding that if the other political parties are not willing to support the interim government, the NPP will continue to function as the opposition. Anurakumara Dissanayake further noted that the incumbent government and Parliament no longer represents the public mandate and therefore a new government should be established after 6 months by a new public mandate. He said the ordinary citizens are not in a position to accept any form of governance, be it an interim or an all-party government within the present government, and therefore a new public mandate is needed. He also said that in order to calm down the present situation, first of all, the Temple Tree conspirators who instigated this violence must be arrested and prosecuted. In more local news, Member of Parliament representing the Tamil National Alliance, President's Council MP M.A. Sumanthiran, commented on convening Parliament and the state of emergency.
The President is primarily responsible for the situation in the country today. The whole country has been asking him to step down for over a month now. Instead, he has proclaimed a state of emergency, and the Constitution in Article 155(7) says that when he proclaims a state of emergency, if the next sitting of Parliament is more than 10 days away, he must also make another proclamation convening Parliament, which he has not done. That is why the Speaker has requested the President to convene Parliament on an earlier date, and that must be done. In such a situation, the Parliament can convene even without a Prime Minister. Nevertheless, today, since the Prime Minister has resigned, the whole Cabinet stands dissolved, and all secretaries to ministries have also left their positions. That is a constitutional position. Therefore, the President must immediately appoint a person as Prime Minister and swear in a Cabinet, because otherwise all powers of governance are with the President at the moment. With the President who has lost legitimacy and whom everyone demands must step down. So our request is that the President must immediately swear in a Prime Minister and Cabinet, and soon thereafter must step down from his position.
Speaker Mahinda Yapa says a special party leaders meeting will be held via Zoom at 3 p.m. today. The Speaker said the present political situation in the country as well as the forthcoming parliamentary week will be taken up for discussion during today's meeting. The next parliamentary session is scheduled to be held on Monday, the 17th of May. The in-person party leaders meeting, which was scheduled for today, was cancelled, taking into account the security of MPs amidst the present situation in the country. The assets belonging to several politicians of both the government and the opposition came under attack last night.
A house of the former minister Dinesh Gunawardena located in Kirlapana was also damaged by a group of people. The house of Viraj Veeraratna in Kirlapana was also attacked.
හැබැයි මේ මුළු ගෙදරම සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම ඊයේ හවස 6 මාට ඇවිල්ලා සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම කුඩු කරලා තියෙනවා. කොච්චර තිරිසන් විදියට කියලා මට ගොඩක් දුක මේ මගේ අම්මගේ ගෙදර. ඇතුළට ඇවිල්ලා මුළු টয়ලට් එක කුඩු කරලා. අද කොට කතා කරන්නත් බෑ ඇත්තටම මොකද මේ කියන්නේ මේක මට කරා නම් කවන්නේ නැහැ. දෙමාපියන් නිකන් ඒක අම්මට කරන එක හරියන්නේ නැහැ.
The opposition leader of the Bottala Bope Pradeshya Sabha, Premalal Abesekara, was assaulted by a group and has also caused damages to his house. He was elected through the United National Party.
මම විශ්වාස කරනවා මේ වෙලාවේ මේ ගම්වල ඇත්තටම සියලු පක්ෂ ભેදෙන් තොරව සියලු දෙනාම මේ ගම ආරක්ෂා කරන වැඩපිළිවෙලක් හැදිය යුතුයි කියලා.
A group has attacked a business belonging to the deputy chairman of the Hambantota Pradeshya Sabha, Ruwan Kumara, in Mirijavela. Meanwhile, a house belonging to the chairman of the Jayala Pradeshya Sabha, Chandrapala Madhurapirama, in Tevatharagama, was also damaged by a group of people.
The continuous island-wide strike action launched by trade unions attached to the government, semi-government and private sectors demanding the president and the government to resign enters its third day today. Co-convener of the Trade Union Coordination Centre, Vasanta Samarasinghe, said trade unions attached to multiple sectors such as health, ports and electricity have joined the strike in condemnation of the attack on Gota Gogama. Health professionals are also joining the strike. The Sri Lanka Administrative Service Association has also stepped away from services until further notice, and the Graded Principals Association have also joined the strike action today. The director of the former Prime Minister's Security Division has been summoned to the Criminal Investigations Department to record a statement regarding the attack on the Gota Gogama and Maina Gogama peaceful protest sites. Police said investigations into the attack are being conducted under the direction of 2 superintendents of police with the supervision of the director of CID. In total, 6 teams have been assigned to conduct investigations. The OIC of the Kolpiti Police and the chief organizer of the meeting held at Temple Trees on the 9th of May have also been summoned to the CID to record their statements. Police said facts were presented to the Fort Magistrate as well. The government analyst will visit the Gota Gogama premises today for further investigations. Police noted that the scene of crime officers carried out investigations at the protest site yesterday. In more headline-making news, the Department of Examinations says no decision was reached to postpone the 2021 GCE Ordinary Level examination scheduled this month. Commissioner General of Examinations LMD Dharmasena said the 2021 GCE O-levels will take place as scheduled on the 23rd of May. And that's a wrap of lunchtime news here on News First, where the people come first. For all these stories and much more, you can log on to our website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. Thank you for joining. Have yourself a great day ahead.